Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it was about time we filmed another swatch party video. So today we're going to be doing my Terra shadow collection. Now obviously I'm wearing a bit of a crazy makeup look that will be in the description box. So I figured it was a good time to try some kind of crazy bright shades, which I do have a lot of from Terra. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first shade I've got is the shade Land on the Stars. This is like a fluorescent yellow colour. It's absolutely beautiful. It looks incredible in the inner corner. Now I will say about Terra their mattes are a beautiful quality. They are so creamy, so blendable, so bright, so pigmented. I really love their shadows. They're perhaps not the cheapest on the market, but they are really gorgeous. So that one is Land on the Stars. Then we have Arctic Lime, which is almost like a grungy, greeny mustard shade. It's not lime in your sort of traditional sense of lime, but it is super vibrant. It gives you that kind of like baby food colour. Like kind of like blended up peas and other stuff that babies like. But it's a beautiful shade and something a little bit different, and one that I don't have in my collection. This one is kind of like the bigger sister of Arctic Lime. It's just a bit darker. This is Shire. This is a little bit more of a green with a yellow hint rather than like a mustard that is green toned. This one, again, is a really cute and individual colour, not something else I have in my collection. These two give me very autumnal vibes. They are gorgeous. Then we have Fourth Dimension, which is, it's like a primary green. So it's not like too yellowy, it's not too tealy, it is green. This is like, to me, it's like if green, this is the colour of the word green. Like to me, I don't see like grass green or apple green or anything like that. This to me is what green is. It's just pure green. We've got a kind of sea foamy blue green. This is Lunar or Later. This is a very like pale pastel shade, but it's really beautiful. It would probably work really well in this situation I've got going on today. It is quite white based, so I imagine it could go ashy on some people, but because I'm so pale, I love this one for blending out any kind of blue looks. Got the Token Lavender, which I have to have in all of my palettes. This is Sweet Dreams. This one is a little more white and a little more pink than I would normally go for a lavender. It's like the perfect cross between a baby pink and a lavender, but it's definitely just slightly more purple. I don't know whether the light is doing that any justice or just completely washing it out, but you will see in the swatches, which are going to be obviously a little bit more obvious. Studio lighting is not great for showing colours properly, so we'll be doing those in natural. Then we have Star Crazy, which is a very kind of regal purple shade. It's very bright, very vibrant, and it gives you that kind of vibe of like purple coloured sweets, if that makes sense. You know, like Purple Nerds. It's that kind of really intense, like sweet, crazy colour. I love this one. It's a great purple, blends really beautifully, no problem. Obviously, sometimes purples can be hard to formulate. There's no problem with anything being patchy or not sitting right. Then we have Lunar Haze, which is like a cross between a periwinkle and a like mid-purple. It's just something a bit sort of dusky about it. And again, it's something that I feel like I don't already have in my collection, or I don't have the same kind of tone. I've got plenty of periwinkles, plenty of like mid-dusty purples, but there's just something about this one that's a little bit on the floor. It's just a little bit different, not quite kind of your usual purple shade. Then we have got Daydreamer, which is just, it's a perfect baby blue shade. It's got a little bit of lavender to it, so it's a little bit of something special, but at the end of the day, just a baby blue. Not the most exciting colour in the world, but it's just a really beautiful formula. It just works so gorgeously. We then have this shade, which is the first, well, I think it's the only actually like metallic I have in my collection. I've got quite a few of their shimmers, but the only metallic. This is Into the Ocean, which is a really deep navy blue with a little bit of sparkle in it. It's just the richest dark blue shimmer I have ever seen in my life. This would be gorgeous for like a New Year's Eve blue smoky eye or anything sort of kind of glamorous. It gives me that like glam vibe because it's just such a deep navy blue. It's a really beautiful shade. Again, not one I already have, so very you know, well used and loved in my collection. Then we have Spacebound, which is kind of a pinky purpley shade. This one is, it's like a mid-tone. As I said, it's very pink, but it is definitely purple. Like, I feel like my lights are totally washing all these shades out in the little viewfinder I can see. But like I said, you're going to see them a bit better when we swatch them, which will be put in throughout the video, which you'll have already seen. I don't know why I'm explaining this. But it's like a pinky purple. It's really beautiful. And something, again, that I haven't seen a lot of. And it's just, the formula is just so beautiful. It's so easy to use. It's just amazing. Then we have Orchid, which is a deep purple shade. I absolutely love this one blended out into the previous shade that I just mentioned. These two is like a little combination, so Spacebound and Orchid make a gorgeous purple smoky eye, which I absolutely love. This one, it's nothing kind of revolutionary, it's just like a deep purple. I wouldn't quite say it was plum, it's definitely still purple. But yes, very beautiful. Then we're getting on to my favourite bit, the kind of pinks and the purples. So the first pink we've got is Utopia, which is kind of a dusky purpley pink. Now this is definitely a purpley pink rather than a pinky purple, if that makes sense. It's really, really dusty. This one looks gorgeous, just blended out on the lid by itself. It makes a beautiful blush. I wish I could get a lip colour this colour. You know me, you know I love the pink, and this one is no exception. Then we have Palm Reader, which is a lot less purple. This is kind of like a true pink. So if I hold Utopia and Palm Reader together, you can see how purple Utopia is. Palm Reader is just a very, very basic mid-toned pink. And then we have Terraverse, which is a bright pink. Now when I say this is bright, I mean it is bright. These like fluoro shades from Terra Moons are fluoro. Like there's no denying that this is like a neon pigment. It's just incredible. This is like pink highlighter pink, which I absolutely love. And speaking of highlighter colours, this is my favourite shade from Terra Moons. This is Jupiter and I. This is a fluorescent coral. It's amazing. Honestly, if you don't have this, I feel like anybody could use this because you could use it as a pop of colour if you do neutrals. I use it all the time for so much stuff. It looks amazing in the inner corner, under the lash line when you're just wearing lashes. It's maybe my favourite eyeshadow shade ever, to be fair. Which is saying a lot because I own a shit ton of eyeshadow. It's beautiful. Love, love, love that one. Is not that serious, and this is kind of the less fluoro cousin of Jupiter and I. It's not quite as bright, not quite as outstanding, but it's still like a beautiful coral shade. It's a little bit deeper with the fact it's not got that kind of fluorescent aspect to it. But again, not something I feel like you see very often. Then we've got some kind of more basic shades. So we've got a basic true orange. This is Cosmic Blaze. This is like a perfect fire orange, basically. It's nothing revolutionary, but it's a really beautiful formulated orange. I'll just launch that across the room as well. It's a really beautifully formulated orange, very easy to work with. We've then got Meet Me on Mars, which is kind of I describe this one as an almost red. This is so kind of reddy orange that it is almost red. If you wore it as a lipstick, people would think it was red, but it's not quite there. But I really love that one. Again, I will mention quite a lot of the warm tone shades from Terra do stain. So if you're bothered about staining, that might be an issue for you. For me, I really don't care, as you can tell. Then we've got Fuzzy Flamingo, which is another shimmery shade. This is like shimmery metallic pink. It's really, really pretty. Something that I don't tend to have a lot of bright metallic colours in my collection. I tend to kind of prefer a more toned down metallic or something that's slightly more pastel, that's always going to be lighter basically than my crease shade. But this one just drew me in, and I really like that one. And then we've got like a true red. This is sangre, like sangria, but sangre. This is a true red. This is like a post box red. I've searched high and low for this kind of shade. This is the best red eyeshadow I've ever tried. It is a little bit drier in formula than the rest of the shades, but what it makes up for in sort of creaminess, it really does make up for in pigment. Can go a little pink if you blend it out, sort of to an extreme, but as long as you keep your blending minimal, it stays that really beautiful kind of true red shade. I tend to pair that with Meet Me on Mars to kind of get like a really red smoky eye. Last matte shade we have, this one is Infrared. This is definitely more of like a pinky red. This blends out to become very pink, although you might think that this and the previous shade look very similar. In the swatches you will see they are different, but again, that was just sort of on my quest. That is slightly drier than the normal shades, but not quite as dry as the previous shade. And then we've got 6 of their metallics. I've got 2 of their really, really sheeny, shiny metallics, and then 4 kind of more normal metallics. The first one is probably my second favourite shade I have in my palette. This is Europa. This is a white with a pink duochrome reflect. This is just beautiful. Their duochromes are so intense. They're a little bit flaky, but if you get them working kind of with a nice primer, they look beautiful. But this is like yellowy gold in some lights, it's white in others, it's pink in others. It's gorgeous. I honestly still am not sure why I bought this shade, because it's just not a me shade, but actually it's very pretty. I just don't get a lot of use out of it because of the looks I wear. But this is Wicked Rose. It's basically just like rose gold. It's like if you took rose gold metal and you poured it onto your eyeballs, that's what it would look like. It's a beautiful shade, don't get me wrong, just for the kind of looks that I reach for. I don't really use it all that much. It does look pretty paired with purples, but I kind of always want to use like a purpley kind of shimmer when I use purples. So not one I get loads of use out of, but nevertheless it's still a beautiful shade. I still don't regret having it in my palette. Then we have Starburst. This is, how do I describe this one? This is everything. This is a bit of kind of bluey brown, a bit of lilac, a bit of green. There isn't many like cool tone shades. I don't even know whether you can see that at all because of the lighting. There isn't really many cool tone shades that you can't see in this when you move it around. In certain lights it does look a bit pinky. This is just one of those shades that you can basically put on the lid of whatever crease colour you're wearing, and it's going to pull out whatever crease colour you're wearing out of it. So that is a beautiful shade. Then last 3, we've got Dragonfly, which is a green with like a blue reflect in it. This is kind of somewhere in between that kind of like flaky shade. It's more of like a duochrome than a multi-chrome, but it's definitely like got a like yellowy gold shift to it. There's a little bit of blue in it. It's really great with like a green smoky eye. It looks amazing with those kind of mossy tones. Then we've got Purple Clouds, which is a really pretty lavendery purple shade. It's just really pretty. It's like the most metallic kind of lavender shade I've ever seen. It's gorgeous. And then last but not least, we have Dark Matter. Now this one kind of gives me, it's sort of, again, it's like MAC Blue Brown, but slightly more taupey, and it's got slightly more purple in it. Again, a really, really interesting shade. I love wearing that with any kind of blue or purple looks because it just really pops it. It's a really strange shade out, like you'll see in the swatch. It's like taupey around the edges and lilac in the middle. It's beautiful. So that is it for my Terra Moons collection. I'd love to know if you guys have tried Terra Moons shadows. If you have, do let me know in the comments what your favourite shades are. If you haven't, let me know what shades you've got your eye on, because I love, love, love their formula. I'm a huge advocate for their shadows. So that is it for today. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I do hope you've enjoyed this crazy look I'm wearing. You'll find the video in the end card if you do want to watch this crazy look video. So that's been it from me today. You've been fabulous. I've been Call of the Ball, and I'll see you next time. Bye.